All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a deep dive into building wealth, like starting from scratch.
Yeah, building wealth from zero.
Exactly. And to help us break it all down, we're going to be looking at some insights from James Janney.
Oh, yeah, Jan is great.
He really is. He's got this super interesting concept, the wealth equation. Have you heard of
Oh,
this?
yeah, it's not your typical financial advice.
No, not at all. So we're going to be going over all that, unpacking the key points, and hopefully giving you some stuff to think about.
Yeah, so you can actually use it, right?
Exactly, exactly. So Janney's wealth equation, it's more than just like budgeting and saving.
It
I get
really
you.
is. What's interesting is it's all about, understanding your relationship with money, like every financial decision. How does that play into the big picture?
So it's like a holistic kind of approach to money.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about dollars and cents, right?
Right.
It's about your whole mindset and how you approach, well, everything.
It's interesting you say that because, like, you have those people who just seem to, like, effortlessly manage their money, and they always seem to make smart decisions.
Right. They make it look so easy.
Yeah. It's like, is it magic? Or is it that they, like, understand these principles that maybe we don't?
Well, I think it's more the latter. It's about understanding these core principles, and it's something, unfortunately, that like traditional education often misses.
Yeah, no, for sure. They don't really teach you this stuff in school.
No,
So we're kind of left to figure it out on our own.
exactly. And that's why Janney's work is so valuable. He really breaks it down.
So where do we even begin? If we're starting from zero, and we weren't taught this in school, like, where's the starting point?
Well, Janet talks about this crucial mindset shift, right? And
Right.
it's moving away from a consumer mindset, which is all about spending,
Right.
to an investor mindset where you're focused on building and growing wealth.
So it's like, instead of what can I buy,
Mhm.
it's more like, how can I make my money work for me? Yeah.
Exactly. That's the shift, right? You're not just thinking about spending, you're thinking about, well, investing
Right.
and how you can use your money to generate more money.
So give me an example of what that would look like in real life. Like, how would someone actually apply that?
Okay, let's say you get a bonus at work, right? Someone with a consumer mindset might immediately think, ooh, vacation or new gadget.
Right. Treat yourself.
Exactly. But with an investor mindset, you would think, okay, how can I invest this bonus to generate even more money in the future?
So you're delaying gratification in a way.
Kind of, yeah. It's more about seeing the bigger picture. You're playing the long game.
Oh, I like that, the long game.
Yeah, exactly. It's about building something sustainable.
That's a really good point. It's almost like changing the way you view money itself.
Right.
Instead of it being this thing that you just spend, becomes a tool
The tool.
to build something bigger.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. But where do we even start? I mean, a lot of us weren't exactly taught these things in school.
You're so right. The lack of financial education is a major problem. But the good news is there are so many resources available now. Like, think online courses, that break down investing, make it simple.
Yeah.
There are apps that can help you track spending, create budgets, and, well, even podcasts like this one, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
See? We're helping.
Exactly. We're trying to provide valuable insights.
Yeah.
So you're not alone. There's help out there.
Okay, good. So it's not like we're totally on our own here.
No, not at all. There's a whole community of people who are learning and growing and sharing their knowledge.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's get back to the wealth equation. Jenny talks about some core investment principles, right?
Mhm.
Things like starting early, diversifying, and compound interest.
You got it. These principles are basically the building blocks of his equation, and they all work together.
They're all connected.
Yeah, like starting early is crucial because it lets you take advantage of compound interest.
Okay, compound interest. That always sounds a bit like a magic trick to me. Can you explain that a little bit?
So think of like this, right? You invest $1,000 today, let's say, with a 7% annual return. After a year, you've earned $70 in interest. But the next year, you're earning interest not just on the initial $1,000, but also on that $70 you earned the previous year.
So it's like interest on your interest.
Exactly. It keeps building on itself, right? And it repeats year after year, creating exponential growth.
So basically, the longer your money is invested, the more it like snowballs.
You got it. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger.
I'm starting to see why starting early is so important.
Right. Even small amounts can grow significantly over time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, what about things that can like derail our wealth building journey? Like debt, for example.
Debt is definitely something to be mindful of. Now, it's not always bad. Like sometimes it can be strategic, like a loan to invest in your education or to start a business, right?
Good debt.
Exactly. But high interest debt, like credit cards, that can be a major roadblock.
Oh, yeah, credit card debt. That's relatable. Right. It's so easy to be like, oh, it's just a coffee, but then it all adds up, and you're paying more in interest than you did for the actual thing.
It's a classic trap, right? And it can be really hard to get out of.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to prioritize paying down that high interest debt first.
Yeah.
Create a budget, track your spending, and you can gain control.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a common thread here. It's all about making conscious choices,
Absolutely. Being intentional with your money.
being strategic.
Yes.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset, we've talked about investing, we've talked about managing debt. Now, what about other ways to build wealth? Like, what about entrepreneurship?
Yes. That's another exciting path that Jenny talks about.
I was hoping you'd say that. I feel like entrepreneurship is where you can really, take control of your future.
For sure. Building a business lets you use your skills, your ideas, to create something of value, generate income. Johnny says that successful entrepreneurs, they often find a problem or a need in the market, and then they create solutions that people are willing to pay for.
So it's all about problem solving, essentially.
Yeah, and providing value, right.
Right.
If you can solve a problem for someone, they'll happily pay you for it.
So for our listeners out there, maybe a good question to ask themselves is, what skills do they have, or what passions do they have that could be turned into a business?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question to think about. And to kind of bring all this to life, I wanted to share a story from Johnny's video that really resonated with me.
Okay, I love a good story.
So it's about this young teacher who was really passionate about making learning fun for kids.
I love that.
So he started creating educational games in his spare time
Wow.
and selling them online. At first, it was just a side hustle.
Right, right.
But he kept reinvesting his profits back into the business, developing new games, getting creative with marketing.
Well, smart.
And fast forward a few years, he's running a thriving educational game company. He was able to quit his teaching job, build financial security, and he's doing what he loves.
That is so inspiring.
It is, right.
It really shows you that building wealth isn't just about luck or privilege. It's about taking action, being strategic.
Exactly. It's about having a vision and working towards it.
Totally. So to kind of sum up everything we've talked about today, it seems like building wealth is less about hitting a specific number and more about developing that financial mindset, educating yourself, and just making smart choices consistently.
You got it. It's a journey, not a destination.
I love that.
And the best part is you can start taking action right now, today. Like, what's one small step you can take? Maybe it's setting up a budget, looking into some investment options, brainstorming business ideas. Every step, no matter how small, it moves you closer to your goals.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything at once.
Right. Just start somewhere.
One step at a time.
Absolutely.
That's such good advice. And I think it's a really empowering message for anyone listening who might feel overwhelmed by the idea of building wealth. You can do this.
You absolutely can. It's all about taking those small steps and being consistent. Remember, financial success is within your grasp. Keep learning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep taking action.
You got this.
That's right. You got this.
Awesome. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.
Bye.